and welcome to the NXT review. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by another one of Jolly Boys, Michael Hamflett from WhatCulture, here to review everything happened on this week's episode of NXT. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. Oh, someone out wrong. Oh, Friday Night SmackDown, AEW Dynamite, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete. The bloody goes, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Michael Hamflett to review last night's NXT, and all I can say is, oh my God, what a show!
I'm ready to salute, and also, I feel this is not to downplay my excitement or the possibilities of Elimination Chamber, nor multiple Raws on the road to WrestleMania where, you know, like Roman Reigns and CM Punk will interact again. We'll find out more about the card. There is excitement on the horizon.
Yes.
Long story short, on the stuff to come. But I can honestly say, between now and Macca's Smackers, when I intend to eat 100 chicken nuggets live on the internet, there will probably not be a review I am as excited for as this one. Which is not to, like, I don't mean to inadvertently overstate this NXT. I think the Atlanta expensive car park snafu has elevated this into, like, special territory because they clearly booked a show, like, for center stage.
Yes.
For something they wanted to advertise and promote and big up and be like Super Tuesday, Title Tuesday, something that, like, bridge the gap, sorry, Sid, between New Year and Vengeance Day, which inexplicably is March.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And this was going to be it, wasn't it? And then you strip Atlanta away, the branding, the marketing, the promotion, the whatever, and all of a sudden it's just NXT. And as a result, yeah, what the hell am I watching? Like, if you told somebody that this was every Tuesday, like, you'd stand to gain like 100,000 viewers, and then they tune into what it actually is and be like, well, I'm going to have to kick my telly in. Like, I'm afraid I'm going to have to throw this. It's, what's the GIF is in my head, but I can't think what it is. Is it Ron Swanson throwing his TV and it was skip, or his computer and it was skip or something? That's the 100,000 extra viewers that this NXT gains if they watch a regular week of it. Like, loads of happenings, title changes, like significant angle advancement, again, stuff that now, like, fuels the road to Vengeance Day. Please announce something for Stand and Deliver. I'm getting worried. But, like, the sense that ultimately the circumstances are called for. NXT, like, having the tablecloth pulled away, and rather than being a skilled magician, a bunch of stuff falling over. It had to happen. It was in dire need, I think, of that, like, right, start again. Let the pieces, cutlery, whatever this analogy is, fall where it may, and let's see one more completely broken mixed metaphor. Let's let some cream rise to the top. Who is actually going to see all these open spots and start think, I'm having that?
Yeah.
And we've witnessed that very visibly with one particular group over the past few weeks. They were rewarded. We've seen wrestlers who it feels like spots are being primed for, but then we're kind of being told to think, are they really going to take them? They took them on this show. This was sort of like earnestly here before we end up, it's NXT, we end up taking the piss a little bit. This is what a developmental show that happens to also be on television should feel like. Yeah, brilliant.
Me and Andy talked a little bit about this on the news with regards to one of the big stories coming out of this show. And I said, you know, NXT hadn't lost its way completely, but it was struggling in terms of who stars who have we got left, especially in the, like, men's division, when they just all got sort of scooped out there at the same time with Javon and Trick, obviously, and Obafemi, and I could go on with the likes of Jordan Grace and people like that just suddenly weren't there anymore from the start of this year even. This was the show where it felt like they're back. They're back on track. They know what they're doing. They've got a definitive plan going forward. I'm so intrigued by so much stuff. And I think also multiple title changes always make you feel like, okay, something new is starting here.
I find, like, so I'll watch wrestling for my own enjoyment as well as the stuff that we cover. And, you know, like, I dart about through the ages or the eras or whatever I'm kind of in the mood for at the time. And I've noticed, particularly when I watch Not so much Attitude Era, but then it would be if I was watching more Attitude Era. But I watch a lot of, or I've been recently watching a lot of like 1997 WWF for Benno and Hamflett, which is a podcast where myself and Benno of Grapple review in your houses of that era and like a lot of stuff going on around the time. And WWE's got this weird thing where in an effort to compete with Nitro, creatively they're on fire, but they're getting their asses kicked in the ratings every week. It increasingly feels like every segment is a potential story. If you were going to do like a news video for WhatCulture, if it was 1997 and such a thing existed, like the 4 stories would all be from last night's Raw. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like there would be so many things. And then wrestling realised as it gradually ate itself in the late 90s, in the Monday Night Wars, once there was a monopoly, and it was like really awful as a result for a while. Like it had to correct that for a weekly TV show. Naturally, there was an overcorrection and there was years of really boring stuff or whatever. But like, you want a balance. You can't have episodes like this every week. Of course you can't. But you would ideally like maybe like 2 or 3 big things coming out of a single TV show that would be worthy of stories if you were going to talk about them. This show felt as if like every segment was intending to make a story, was intended. If you were doing like, if anybody beyond our beloved audience cared about this show, like the news today would all be NXT stories because everything felt like it was a development. Like it didn't feel like they wanted to waste a match or a segment, did it?
I was proud of our little show that got on the What Culture News today.
They broke through.
Yeah.
Like it left.
If I was in charge, I mean, that'd be every Wednesday. But
yeah,
still.
we'd be out of jobs.
Yeah.
Like it felt like it was undeniable, didn't it? Bless it.
Yeah. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
Let's dive into this.
It's come off the bench and scored the winner this week, hasn't it?
Remind me later, by the way, we did get a dissatisfied NXT customer email I need to circle back to that. We'll get to a little bit later.
We try and acknowledge the people that criticise constructively as well as the praise. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's important to do that, I think.
So Vic Joseph.
Oh, teach moment!
Starts us off, throws to the new general manager of NXT. Oh, God. This isn't very professional. I've forgotten his name already.
I'm quite good at remembering general managers' names, actually. So it's Robert Stone.
And he hypes everybody up. Doing a good job.
Yeah. Might get the job permanently if he's not careful.
Yeah, he's sort of Michael Carrick in it, isn't he?
Well, he is, and then much like other Man United managers that have got it, he might find himself horribly miserable if he gets it for reals, because Ava never seemed to really like what was going on once she had an actual job.
Wheel.
Yeah.
And then we kick off with our first title match, first of many on this show.
Hey, guys, back, innit? They beat Everton, Man United.
Oh, yeah.
1.
10 games unbeaten, Man United, by the way. Just not 5.
Yeah. It's hard. 5 wins, man. It's really hard.
We kick off with the tag titles on the line. Dark State, that being Saquon Sugars and Osiris Griffin, representing the group with Dion Lennox and Cutler James there, of course, taking on the Vanity Project. Our boys Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes, Evolve champion Jackson Drake out there with them as well. Weird this, because I couldn't work out who we were meant to, I mean, I knew who I was cheering for.
Yeah. So here's the dynamic. They're both heels.
Yep.
We love Vanity Project. We acknowledge that Dark State have inadvertently often booked as baby faces.
I like Saquon Sugars.
Yeah. Dion Lennox is like this heartbreaking boyhood dream story who you want to do it all as part of that.
He's half Clark Kent, half like terrorist.
He's such a strange figure. The NXT crowd have just known Dark State longer, so kind of adopted them as baby faces here.
Yeah.
But
was it Osiris Griffin who was just working as a babyface, like just chucking these little twats around?
But then current pre-existing top babyface directly involved in the finish to gift the heels the belts.
Honestly.
Just a lot of stuff, innit?
This was a very me match in terms of the finish.
Yeah.
I got everything I wanted.
Yeah. I thought Jackson Drake at ringside was outstanding in this match, by the way.
He was amazing throughout the night. We're going to get more from them. I said to you earlier, there's a segment on this show I will go out of my way to write down almost verbatim because of how sensational it was. And guess who it involved? Our 5 favourites.
There's I don't want to. This is a part of the review of this match. I don't want to like step on your dick because you've not even recapped it yet, right? But there's a match, and I think this tag match is something I would rather watch again than watch Triple H versus Kevin Nash from Insurrection 2003. But the respective cornermen are Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels, and they are brawling around the ring, basically to give the fans something to look at because Nash and Triple H are nothing in the match, right? Flair blades.
Does he?
Like they're just like they're having this Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner match around ringside while Triple H and Kevin Nash are just having this absolute slog. It was in Newcastle. It was the last time Newcastle got pay-per-view. The arena looked like a toilet on camera, but like it was that bad show cost us ever getting another one.
Yeah.
And Michaels and Flair are just unbelievable at ringside. It's like, is this fantastic?
We not swap the roles so those two are in the ring and these two are on the outside.
And honestly, you know how Shawn Michaels nicks from his own career, like Jackson Drake, like instruction, dickhead, level, infinity. Like I couldn't take my eyes off him in this. Like he was there on the off chance that the match got boring. It didn't really,
and he was at a numbers disadvantage.
Yeah. Didn't work, but he was just so fun.
Yeah, he helped them take over during a break after, in the words of our esteemed producer, Cyrus Griffin, chucked Baylor and Smokes around like they're an empty tracksuit.
Yeah.
When we come back, Saquon Sugars is in trouble. Griffin gets the hot tag and cleans house to a huge pop, obviously. He chokeslams both members of Vanity Project to get a near fall. Dark State want a doomsday device. Sugars hits a missile drop kick. Sugars goes for a cover. But Drake interferes by putting Baylor's foot on the bottom rope. At that point, Cutler James and Dion Lennox go to confront him. Referees get involved at ringside. It's all kicking off. Griffin's not having any of this. He hits a dive. He gets out of the ring, to join it all going on. Flying crossbody, I think it was, actually. And I suddenly did the referee's watching this.
Yeah.
That can only mean one thing. Phase 2 of the plan kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
Bish, bash, bosh. Tony D'Angelo's there. He slams Sugars on the apron, rolls him in, and Brad Baylor gets the 1, 2, 3. And they're not holding all the gold, but all of Vanity Project have got a gold, haven't they now?
Yes.
I don't know what's the difference between Vanity Project and Swipe Right. I thought these two were Swipe Right. Although technically, I suppose they were all Vanity Project because Jackson was out there.
Yeah, it's supposedly a Kings of the Black Throne, House of Black situation, but I think they've just dropped Swipe Right from there.
Yeah, I'll see what WWE.com.
The packaging and the presentation.
Whoa, spoilers.
I was really
Vanity Project beat Dark State, it says here.
Yeah, I was really, really happy that they did it.
Yeah, me too.
Said yesterday on the preview, it's really fun when you're getting behind some characters and you can see they're starting to really feel themselves and enjoy their work and kind of chew up scenery a little bit, dominate the screen, and then the booking supports that. It makes you feel good because you feel like, I've said it once, said it a million times, fans back winners, right? And that's not just the wins and losses in the ring. It's the sense that a human being is winning at life.
Yes.
Like, especially now that we are kind of trained as fans to just understand booking patterns at a bare minimum. I didn't watch my first wrestling match and like wonder how the Ultimate Warrior was going to be booked against Hulk Hogan. That's simply
yes.
Like, but I think people are getting younger while getting into that because of access to the internet and, you know, hopefully podcasts like ours and the like. And it's changed. So the emotional connection is as tied to the wrestler's trajectory as it is what's going on screen. So the Vanity Project winning here was crucial, that wasn't it? If they'd have lost, I don't think we'd come in here half as high because not only was it a tone setter for the night to come, but it was like, all right, okay, the ones we like have kind of been put back in the box for a while. Dark State have been around longer, so they get the belts for longer. You know, there was no sense of tenure here. It was like, no, like the Vanity Project, other than the little Volvo guest spots, have basically had 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get themselves over, and they've massively over-delivered. They have spotted the opportunity,
match. Yeah.
took it, and now are being rewarded in kind. As I say, Jackson Drake was given loads of focus as the third guy, so you were never really left to think that he wasn't the top star of the group, even though two more were winning titles. So that was really effective. The Tony D stuff, he's basically the babyface Solo Sikoa, isn't he? He's like laying out the stakes and he's doing it. Like,
do you know what it is? Smashed up Cutler James, cost them the tag titles.
It's all
he's got left to do, I think, is break them up and then reveal what his true plan is. World title, obviously.
And when he says it,
speaking of which, Stand and Deliver, because we were talking about this the other day, and maybe this is wishful thinking. I'm the king of wishful thinking, really, when you think about it. Is there a way, because we're like, right, Sol Ruka versus Zarya, that's probably a big enough match for Stand and Deliver. Kendall Gray winning the NXT Women's Championship, that without question should be happening.
Yeah,
if
I think so. Yep.
Deliver. Men's side of things, what are we doing? Joe's in there. Ricky's Saints is obviously in there, but they've already done that. And they're presumably going to do that again before April rolls around. Ethan Page, which we will get to, is a bit up in the air. Why not just copy what's going on SmackDown and do like a 5-man, including Tony D'Angelo?
Don't hate that. Like, by the way, just quickly on that, 5-mans, can we just have 6-pack challenges? 6 is good, isn't it? 6 is still fine.
Yes.
It didn't just have to be 5, did it?
No, they were talking about the WWE title. They were saying it's either a 5 or a 6.
Oh, good, yeah. 6 is good. 6 is fun.
Yeah.
6 is 6. That's one more than 5.
This one goes up to 6.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll be up for that. I think it's how you, and look, they're kind of doing that with Drew, so that's a good comparison. It is kind of how you hide that maybe you don't have like stars, but you've got people that are worthy enough to be in the spot. Like, not to offend your sensibilities here, but like, there might be a reason that they're not advertising Stand and Deliver at the T-Mobile just yet.
Yeah.
And likewise, there might be a reason why they've not like laid out exactly who Drew McIntyre is going to face.
Yeah,
just
it
yet.
could be the old whole bum of its farts thing, couldn't it?
Well, more on that later.
And more from the Vanity Project. Stick around, it's
throughout.
worth it.
What we always said as well, the old Fed multi-seg, when you're popping up all the time, you matter. And boy, do these matter.
Seg 1, Seg 3, Seg 5,
yeah,
Seg 7, probably Seg 8 as well. Bollocks.
Great.
I was talking to you about this, and, you know, I'm very easily charmed into becoming a fan.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a fan of Trick Williams.
I think it's a good thing.
I'm a fan of a multitude of wrestlers.
And then when you go off them, they're dead to you.
Yeah, they're dead to me instantly.
Yeah.
I have this like childlike adoration for Miles Bourne. This show, as this happened, so Sarah Schreiber has a chat with him, and like I think his is an amazing story, genuinely.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
Right? Like what was he said at the end of this? Tonight he'll no longer be considered the deaf kid. He'll be known as the new NXT North American champion. And don't get me wrong, I think Ethan Page has been sensational. Not beige whatsoever.
God, no.
And by the way, this was record for what? Days holding the title, because he had the record for like title defenses last week, no?
He would have broken Obafemi's longevity record if he,
But yeah, Miles also talks about, you know, Shoney got it in him by smashing up Ethan Page's ankle, getting his chance, and then it being the pandemic and what have you, and you know, doing the impossible, D1 football team without a single year of experience. But yeah, he's not in over his head. He's where he belongs, and he's going to prove that tonight, basically. And he's going to show that you can't let someone tell you what you can and can't do in this life. Man, I'm like, you know, the classic, like, reaching through the screen. I'm like, come on, Miles! I had to watch the last 10 minutes of this show on the bus due to, you know, just family stuff this morning. And I was literally like, I sat on the little seat just behind the driver. A, because then I can pretend I'm driving the bus. B, because then not many people on the bus can see me go, get in!
I'm a regular commuter watcher. I'm normally finishing a show just because of the time I leave the house in the morning. And it is so strange because it definitely does something. You might find this if you become a bit more of a bus wanker. Like, and I say that complimentarily, I absolutely love the bus.
Game recognised game.
Yeah, I'm not saying I would wank off the bus, but I do really enjoy the bus.
You ever do that where like you're rubbing one out on the back of the bus and then you press the stop button, you have to finish before the bus stops, otherwise you have to keep going, walking past the driver and saying, thank you. You ever done that?
I've never done that.
Me neither.
No. He doesn't love a game.
Play the Tamina theme on the bus.
Boom. Oh, jeez. What's he doing? He's pressing stop. He's jacking it. He's pressed stop button. Ding.
Legendary bus driver the other day, by the way. I forgot to mention, I think this was on Friday. Some youths got on, right?
Yep.
Scared of them.
Yep. But
also I'm like, respect your elders, kids. They were fine, to be fair. They weren't like playing live music or anything. But they were putting their feet on the seats.
Come on.
Bus driver, one warning, like went to leave, looked in his mirror, saw him. Boys, feet off the seats, right? And they did comply.
Okay.
And then about 5-10 minutes goes by. Back they go. Next stop, he goes, right, boys, off you get. Just kicked him off the bus. I was like, that badass.
That bus driver. That's brilliant. Actions have consequences.
And like the only thing that they did, because I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
I just want to get home. I don't want any problem. I hate confrontation. All they did as they walked off was they called him a sausage.
Those bad boys haven't got that scarier.
There's me. It's me in the seat behind the driver. Is there a sausage driver in this bus?
Little sausage with a bus driver. The Megabus guy with a sausage. I don't like bad behaviour, full stop. I'm a rule follower. I'm a people pleaser. I'm not a naughty boy.
I'm not a bad boy.
No. You can only hope, especially because they're typically like teenage boys, you can only hope because they're youths and like they've still got that like youthful virility that like they'll suffer from the dreaded case of bust dick, and then they can't move because the Rumbo Bumbos has generated some emotion downstairs, and then it becomes a different kind of race with that stop. But oh God, I'm getting off in 3 stops. Come on,
doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of bust dick.
Oh, I got to close my eyes. Right, Margaret Thatcher, WCW. Oh, collision. Come on, I'm getting off in 2 stops.
Not me. I'm getting off right now.
Yeah, there's 2 ways to get rid of bus sticks, and we take very different routes.
Oh, anyway, speaking
good promo.
Good stuff.
Really good.
But yeah, speaking of bad boys, Keanu Carver was next.
Yeah,
against Michael Sidgwick's favourite, Sean Legacy. He tried his best, did poor Sean, without the help of his hometown crowd, of course.
Yeah, missed that, didn't he?
He knocks Carver outside. Oh, perfect. I hit him with a suicide dive. Forearm to the face. Carver just battered him, hit a huge right hand, a backbreaker and a gorilla press toss as well. We go to the outside. Carver's just killing him at this point, but he starts thinking he's all that in a bag of chips, basically. He's going to spear Legacy through the barricade, which obviously they've done previously. But Legacy counters with a super kick. Springboard 450 as they go back in, gets a near fall. Missile drop kick. Legacy wants sliced bread, but Carver just cuts him off, hits him with a huge Monty Brown-esque pounce, and then like a suplex into a powerbomb for the 1-2-3. Keanu Carver's domination continues.
It's good, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was
Legacy made him look really good.
He did ragdoll himself. I felt for them a little bit because the match layout very, you joke at the start, very clearly was done with the Atlanta crowd in mind, and all the sympathy being laid out for that one hope spot, for that one comeback. You know, your guy's getting absolutely monstered out there, but he's going to get one opportunity to try and do something about it, and nearly does. And then they have to, you know, it's that thing that kind of, that's probably what they've rehearsed, so it has to play out in front of this NXT crowd. But what this NXT crowd has got at least is this, they've had this like visual investment in Carver for the past, month? Again, the same amount of time as the Vanity Project. Carver's best night, probably. Like, looked like he belonged out there. Like, I don't know if it was like a footwork thing maybe, and how he was making himself big. Couple of little additions to the repertoire always help, because you kind of think you've seen everything when a monster's on the come up, and it's like, well, they've got their 3 moves, and that's enough. That's all you need when you're destroying guys. But he had a bit more than that. Yeah. And I was quietly impressed, and you're not wrong. Like, it takes 2 to tango, doesn't it? Like, this is the dance. Like, you can't just brutalize guy. You can't Ellsworth that bitch every week. Yeah. So it's going to take more talents to help Carver, I think. But it's a work. It's smoke and mirrors, and keep working me. This was good. Yeah, he could easily be built up to a challenger for the North American title. Yeah. But I agree. You need a few more of these first. And you do need to kind of, you need to like throw some pretty good hands under a bus or 2. Yeah. Because they're going to I don't think like another PC trainee who we don't know is necessarily the right guy here. No. I think it's mini feuds of the way with Keanu Carver. We see the Renku CC chatting in the back in the locker room. They are fascinated by the ongoing drama of Zaruka, which, of course, leads to something a little bit later on the show. Kendall Gray, thank God this was said as well, says, don't worry, I'm going to get back to that NXT Women's Championship. Absolutely. Yep.
But she wants to support Ren Sinclair,
Oh my God.
who's in the speed tournament against, who is it again next week? Oh, yes, Nikita Lyons.
She's back.
Yeah. Did you see the tweet? Oh, of course you didn't. You're not on X.
No.
See if I can find it. I'm fairly certain Nikita Lyons basically, there was like a graphic later on. Next week, in the other semi-final, Ren Sinclair versus Nikita Lyons. And Nikita Lyons said, see you in New York City, baby. Ren Sinclair quotes me and be like, you sure about that? I think we're in Orlando now.
Oh, man. The old Ricky Sainz, Brian Cage. Where's his Philly Street Fight at? Philly, you big dumb bitch.
Big dumb bitch is such a funny line. Yes. Yeah, Ren said she needed to stay focused. But there's only so much preparing she can do because it's only a 3-minute match, of course.
I was like a wrestler here, man. I was starving. Because it was light on skits and bits, this, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So to cut to the back, it was like, oh, I'll take it, please. I wasn't to know what was to come.
Well, they're in the women's locker room. You can expect something's going to happen like this. Yeah. In walks, I love her, Kalani Jordan.
Yep.
Just comes in and is a to everybody.
She is.
That's what it is, isn't it?
They've done this a few times on NXT where it's as if, like we've had this a little bit with Zari, which has kind of become the problem over the last few weeks. But they just do this. Like, I don't know where they get it from. Like, what? You know how we've said this before, and I know it pisses off some like listeners / viewers, so I'll keep this brief. But sometimes we've tried to use like X as a pulse read, and then that it's its own bubble. Then we've got our own chat over the desks, and it's really hard to know like the pulse of things. Like, does Shawn Michaels just assume that because maybe people aren't talking about NXT, because it's NXT, nobody's getting that this character's a heel? Like, rip the knob off completely. Like, remember Prick Williams?
I was going to say, this wasn't Prick Williams, was it? This, because she's been this way for quite some time.
But typically, the pivot point doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's just like, right, all right, then I guess everybody. Like, it's so sharp and stark and like...
She went from...
I like this.
Come on, guys, I'm TNA... What was she? She wasn't Knockouts champion.
Knockouts champion,
Knockouts champion, yeah. Come on, guys, I'm TNA Knockouts champion. Get out of the locker room. You're with TNA. You're not with us. Well, screw everybody then.
Yeah.
But I've really enjoyed... I thought I was very much like, this is going to be a sort of Roxanne Perez situation where we're going to have to sit through 6 months of this and be like, ugh. It will work out in the end as it has with Roxanne Perez. Not with Kalani. I think she's really taken to this so well.
The one in the...
And then Lola Vice just kicks her into the lockers and they give a pull-apart brawl to set up. What's that? An NXT Underground match?
Oh, my God.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that'd be good. It was Lola Vice, wasn't it? Because it's still part of this rivalry where, like, Lola Vice was in that kitchen being like, well, a couple of weeks' time, I'll probably have to do something about Kalani Jordan. Camera pan. You what? And then just, like, dove for it. Like,
so good.
Brilliant.
Then, this is another sort of big tick for this show. It was a triple threat match for the WWE Speed Championship, and Hamflett loved it. It was Mr. Pots and Pans, Jasper Troy.
He's got his entrance now where he drops his pots and pans and it shakes the world, which I quite like.
Obviously.
He's got additional pots and pans, and then he goes like, drops them, and then all right.
Is this going to be a bit like that Deontay Wilder fight, though, where Deontay Wilder walked out in this elaborate costume against Tyson Fury and then lost the fight and went, I got gassed by wearing that costume, to be honest. He's like, the chains I'm wearing are bloody heavy stuff.
I'm not suggesting it made Jasper Troy good, but I do want to see the entrance again. And apparently all it takes is like not one wrestler to create movement around him, but two against the clock.
Yes.
That's all it took all along.
The other two wrestlers, of course, being Eli Knight.
Yeah.
And Ilio LeFleur.
Always loved the guy. Glad to see he's finally been rewarded with a title.
You said he had his best night here.
Well, I mean, low bar.
Yeah.
But, by miles his best night here.
But you were right. The dynamic of this worked really well. Eli Knight and Ilio LeFleur basically saying, me versus you, that's interesting. We went to a stalemate, obviously. Let's get rid of this big bastard, and then we can sort it out.
It was 2 races, wasn't it? Race to beat him, race to take advantage of it the quickest.
Yes.
Right the way through to the finish. Like that constant thing.
7 minutes. I know it's like, okay, it's 7 minutes. But it's like, considering you normally have like 3 or 5, I was like, oh, there's only like 2 minutes left of this.
I was going to say, it's like, the lights are on already.
Yeah.
The club's already closing. I'm having a great night.
So, yeah, they get sent to the outside. Jasper Troy just chucks them back in. But they eventually managed to send Jasper Troy into the steps, and this is when you get the Eli Knight, Elio LaFleur match. Eli Knight, who looked really good as well.
Great chemistry, these two.
Drop kick into a top rope moonsault. What?
Yep.
For 2 on LaFleur. But again, they're like, 1, 2, bollocks. Oh, God, he's back. Jasper Troy comes in, drops them both. He power bombs LaFleur into Knight, as we'd sort of seen in the build to all this. He also hits a choke slam on LaFleur to get a 2 count. But they team up and knock Troy out to the floor. Jasper Troy gets knocked off the top. There's a DDT to send Knight into the apron. A 450 gets 2 on Troy. Knight makes the save. But LaFleur hits a Hurricane Rana on Troy. Knight adds a moonsault, but obviously sells it. And literally in that split second that he sold it, and LaFleur has had a second to recover from Hurricane Rana, he snatches the pin. 1, 2, 3. New speed champion, Elio LaFleur.
What brilliant finish. What brilliant finish. Like, how many times did Rob Van Dam do the 5-star frog splash? And then it was great. He would sell the impact of his own move, and he would, like, his body would bounce away from the wrestler, and nobody thought, that's well more than 3 seconds. Man, get in here. And Elio LaFleur did that.
Yeah.
Like,
Who was your man from the Nexus who used to do the...
Oh, Justin Gabriel.
Justin Gabriel. I always felt bad for him because everyone's like, yeah, we're the Nexus. Let's kick Bret Hart's ass.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, we're going to hit him with like a really hard-looking clothesline or like way to do...
Boom!
Yeah, boom, wasteland or whatever it was they did.
Mm.
And then poor Justin Gabriel, bloody hell, that's my story, it really hurts.
I'm glad I did it. Bruised a rib. Yeah, this was... Like, Elio LaFleur, like, you know, get your gear sorted. But otherwise, the booking now makes total sense, doesn't it? Like, he's arrived, fanfare, sucked. So, kayfabe, I mean, like, can't win, can't get nothing right. And then somebody else's move gets him the win because he's been opportunistic. He's been a little bit of you kind of got you can't just fit into get in here. I said this weeks ago. I said it, and I meant it. Who was in the segment when Ethan Page was like, Miles, mate, you're going to have to start.
Yep.
Like, look, this is how it goes. You lose matches unless you kind of, like, be a bit of a dickhead. It was Elio LaFleur. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Like, so he's gone in, and it's taken a little while for him to actually apply that to his game, but that's like, I'm looking at that brand, and it doesn't feel right saying it. That's kind of like sporting framework booking of, like, Elio LaFleur learning from mistakes and learning to be opportunistic.
Cramming up your cram hole, LaFleur.
Yeah. That's where I was going next. I don't know if I was, and if I was, good, if I was worked by the layout of this match or not. I got real Fraxium energy out of LaFleur and Eli Knight. Like, I remember the TNA episode. I think they were already the Murder City Machine Guns in Ring of Honor by this time, so they were probably looking to just get that over the line in TNA. But I remember it was like a multi-man X-Man where Sabin and Shelley were in a similar situation. I can't remember who it was they were trying to deal with, but it was like an X Division whatever, and they were just like knocking out these killer like tag team moves and like, oh, you do this and I'll do this and da-da-da. And then it was like, I need to see this together forever, and then suddenly they were the perfectly branded Motor City Machine Guns. Oh, right, okay. Like, this is pretty much how it happened for Nathan Fraser and Axiom, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They're just kicking their ass. They're both fast, offering slightly different skills, but enough similar ones to overlap. I could see maybe this is the move, you know, Elio LaFleur, and like, I know there's a singles division there for the taking, but I would argue that the kind of watering of the grass in the tag division is just as important because, you know, stars can shine in that realm as well. And we talk about these standard Liver and Vengeance Day cards where it's like, you don't even get 5 matches. Like, if you're not getting a singles title match, of which there's 2, you might as well kind of throw your oar in for the tag one, of which there's going to be multi-mans and there's going to be, like, you're going to get, like, Hank and Tank found their way together, didn't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong, the speed title is prestigious, but Zaruka were able to hold that belt within a stable. Fallon Henley holds that belt within a stable. I saw some doubles chemistry here. Jasper Troy's best night by a million years as well. Al Potts and Pansky. Like, keep that entrance.
Ethan Page is getting his ankle taped ahead of the main event. In walks Ricky Saints, bragging about his appearance on the CW show Wild Cards. We're on that later. Don't worry, though, because here comes the Vanity Project as well. They took all the advice that Ethan Page gave them, And now, look, it's all coming to fruition, like you say, in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Ricky says, it's amazing, isn't it? Like, you got belts. Obviously, Jackson got a belt. I'm becoming 2-time world champion probably at Vengeance Day. Ethan Page definitely remaining North American champion tonight.
Everything's brilliant in the Sex Havers Club. This is confirmation, isn't it? Like, we might not be here for a long time because you never know with call-ups, but we're here for a good one.
Yeah.
This is a thing. They spotted it last week. Everybody spotted it last week. This is the thing. These 5 guys.
And then
5 guys. It's a burger place, but also these guys.
Yeah.
Because that's where they take the chicks for meals when they're at, like, there. if only they could get the car working. But, like...
Hell of a job.
Because New Japan had, like, just 5 guys, and then I think, like, Sonar joins and then just 6 guys then.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. But, like, 5 guys.
Yeah, that works. We got a thing called NXT Chronicle. That's never been a thing, has it?
Yes. Wait a minute.
Wait, there's NXT Origins and NXT Chronicle.
Origins. What was that other one?
Spotlight.
Spotlight. That was only on Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Hard Target? Prime Target?
Hard Target feels more appropriate.
Prime Target. Thank you,
Hard
Nicholas,
Target was a 2.0 thing, probably.
Yeah.
Hard Target.
Yeah, 6. After the break.
But I really liked
it
it.
was really good, though. Chronicle was the network series. Ambrose
I was going to say,
on
was it. It was a different thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was the Ambrose one.
Yeah. It was the Moxley one. It was like, oh, WWE should probably use John Moxley.
Who's this guy? This
Yeah.
isn't the guy behind the wacky line.
No.
This is a real human.
I think he hates everything.
Looks like he's excited to be back. Oh, no, there goes that dream. Oh, dear.
This was great.
Yeah. It was the 2-parter. This one was like the early stage. It was weird seeing young Joe.
Yeah.
Young Joe Hendry.
And then not, because kind of like the halfway house between young Joe Hendry on these pictures and the one that is now NXT champion sat at desks in our office.
Yes, I was going to say.
Like, that's the exact
was
middle.
this the one? So he's talking all about, like, growing up in Edinburgh, Scotland, and this dream of going to WWE and doing judo and theatre and live. He's just a multi-talented guy, obviously. He's got a master's in business and marketing. He's a black belt in judo. He's touring Europe and things like that. And then he meets Robbie Brookside, gets a tryout, knows it's too early, but like they circle back to this a little bit later with quotes from what he said in it. And then like he picks up amateur wrestling at like a late age really for that sort of sport. But because of his background in judo, he gets 2 gold medals at the British Championships. And
the best of the timeline there, because I remember that happening.
I remember this
like,
as well.
He was kind of
that wasn't that, and then the musical
like
parodies.
it's you can lie. That is I'm not digging them out there, by the way, or digging out Joe Hendry, because I remember by this point he was like, you didn't know where it was going to go with the pro wrestling, but it was really cool that he'd done that.
Is he going to the Commonwealth Games?
Yeah, I remember that happening.
And then he talks about his musical parodies and how that got more of a buzz, which is undeniable.
Yeah.
Like he isn't, as he said at the start of this, he's, Ricky might think he's just a flash in the pan meme. No, anyone who knows him knows he's been doing this for years and years and years. I was wrestling some of the biggest names in the business all across Europe. Cody Rhodes, Kurt Angle, Drew McIntyre. Where are you wrestling them? Because the footage I saw was them in WWE, and I was like, I don't remember that match in WWE.
Name where it was, Joe. Cody Rhodes would name where it was. Always does, doesn't he? Good old Codes.
He loves a bit of a WCPW reference. Yeah. But yes.
And he always calls it, just goes WhatCulture and then moves on. So it's not even like pro wrestling. We should clip it and make it like another podcast like line and just pretend it's like him and MJF. Listen.
I'll see if he wants to hang out when we're next, at a show maybe or something.
Check in.
Maybe you said a name, so we must be mates, right?
Picturing you, but you saying, I'll ask him when you've seen him. At a show probably, and it's just you screaming from the cheap seats at WrestleMania.
Cody, the man who DM'd me once.
Cody!
DM'd me once in like 2017, 18 probably. Or maybe 19, because it might have been around, obviously, the beginnings of AEW. To say, like, I think it was a podcast thing we'd done.
Yeah.
Maybe, or something like that. and it was just Cody as Winston Churchill as a thumbnail. And he messaged me saying like, "Oh man, I love that. I love war stuff and Churchill and what have you." And to be like, "You're welcome, mate." I mean, I did nothing. It was Chris Thompson, but thanks for the help.
Then you proceeded to spend several months like,
love you,
your best friend or something on podcast, and hoping it would lead somewhere.
I always find it awkward. Like, shall I text Biggie again?
Yeah,
I text him when he has things, like when he got engaged or
because basically you want to see if he considers you slightly higher than the piece of shit on his shoe. Yeah, that's how I rank it when I send him.
Always like
super nice,
so nice and quick to respond. Like I think, well, he'll see that and be like, "Well, that's not a priority."
It's too nice, isn't he?
Yeah. Anyway, so he
nice
wrestled
person.
Cody Rhodes, Kurt Angle, and Drew McIntyre. I can't remember where that was. Actually, technically, Drew McIntyre might not have been us. Drew McIntyre might have been ICW, but still, they're just not showing that. And then he talks about writing his theme song, and then like suddenly it's like gaining popularity and everything's going great, and it's like, here we go. And it was kind of like typical. This it's like he did feel like he had like a rocket to him, and then it was just like, oh, Pando, world shuts down. Sorry, mate.
Just to interject, Joe Henry did wrestle Drew Galloway.
Did he?
For the WCPW title.
Steel cage?
In January
Before my
2017.
time, yeah.
Loaded. Episode loaded.
Jeez.
I feel like they were both...
TV. Not even a pape. A TV.
Well,
Well,
think-
they did get a pay-per-view after.
There was a...
Battle in the Capital, it was called.
Maybe it was just Drew and Joseph Connors, but there was like I'm sure there was a three-way summit in a steel cage, and they were doing the who's climbing down the fastest type deal, and Hendry lost out, and it was part of his persistent inability to win the WCPW world title, and then he ended up turning heel to win it. I was engaged back then. This was really well made.
And he used the last of his savings to get a visa for the US once he had bulked up and dyed his hair blonde and really committed to himself in TNA.
I think, how do I say this diplomatically? Because I imagine like most wrestlers have a similar story to this, but why not promote that anyway?
Yeah,
like it's often said, isn't it? Like like everyone's an overnight success story, but the overnight success story is what other people's projecting onto them.
yes.
Like it's anyone's life is like if you're looking at it through the lens of somebody looking at you, it seems like something's just happened at the click of a finger. Where in reality, there's been a life lived up to that
and everyone's
point.
so ready to tear people down. Like I remember when he first had the like say his name and he appears and had some like a Rumble appearance or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there was that window between that and the Mania. And like I remember people trying to start stuff on X being like, remember this guy? He's so washed now. And I'm like,
Well, and all the sort of controversy around the TNA title being used in the manner it was. Like, but what I was sort of trying to say there, because I didn't want to come across like I'm not like putting this story down. I would imagine most wrestlers in particular would suggest that, well, I had this. Like, look at the next in line thing now. Like, most of them have like probably trained in an entire different discipline, had successes, failures, gold medals, injuries, whatever, and they've thought, all right, well, now I'm having to start again at this performance center. I want to be Tiffany Stratton. If you did want her, you'd have like a gymnastics or whatever. Like, but you should absolutely treat each individual career like this. You should treat like toast the struggle to be able to toast the success at the end of the struggle. Like Hendry's it's not unique in terms of a wrestler story, but it's unique in and of itself, how he's gone about this. Tell the story of a guy that got the marketing degree and got wanted to add all the strings to his bow. And I'll say this for Joe Hendry, like he's a worker like everybody else. There'll be things you can embellish. There's a timeline you can switch around and whatever.
Yeah.
But from I didn't work with him a lot, but I had like a few conversations with him, and this is not a secret or anything because he alludes to it here. He definitely had an in when you had the 2016 like Peaky Blinders class, and he didn't want to go for it because of what he felt he offered versus what they offered and what looked like what that Brit Res scene was going to be at the time. And, he talks about the songs in the ICW period and WhatCulture and all that. And Joseph Connors, that he's right. That did get him over a hump and set him apart from so many wrestlers that were offering a virtually identical presentation of that era. You only need to look at the bracket for the first UK Championship tournament. It's right, we've kind of got about 4 or 5 of the same guy here. There's a reason why there's like Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, big gap to a lot of others. There's a reason why JD McDonough, then Jordan Devlin's getting called a mini Finn Balor. There's a lot of copy of a copy of a copy stuff going. People need to find themselves a bit here. Hendry was kind of bold enough to find himself on his own terms, and that's why the route was a little bit more scenic.
And it also works later on. They get part 2. I'll talk about that in a while. We get part 2, and then those arseholes, Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes and Ricky Saints, like, see that? What a load of crap that was.
Yeah.
Like, just a person's life story to get to the dream job that they've always wanted.
Yeah. Well, like...
And then Ricky's immediately like, I'm better, and I'm doing a concert, so who cares?
It's funny how wrestling works, isn't it? Because Saints is a guy that not only could you tell an identical sort of story...
Yeah, we'll listen to it on the Cody podcast.
But he's done it. Like the Cody pod, I think there's been video packages in NXT where, like, when they were trying to get him over as this, like, babyface who's finally made it to the dance.
Never make him a babyface again.
You can't. This is what I mean. I'm bruising out. Every wrestler has a story like that, but only some can actually benefit from it.
Yeah.
And this was a great example of how to do that.
And there was alongside this, a nice NXT origin story about Damian Priest here as well.
Yeah.
About, like, here's a guy who's had years and years and years of experience and then still kind of started from the beginning again in NXT. And I forgot all the, like, his name's on fire. And I was like, you remember that, him and, like, Leon Ruff and stuff like that back in the day?
Adele, my wife, loved that setting the name on fire thing. Don't know why. Like, I think he worked the dark match at NXT TakeOver New York. And then, or like she'd seen him on TV because she happened to be casually watching while I was watching and just thought that was a really cool bit of business that he pretended to fire an arrow at his name and then it went on fire. And I was like, yeah, that's wrestling. Like, you never know what bit of complete nonsense is just going to be a thing that clicks or gives a guy something to do with his hands.
Yes.
You know? Like, remember he would, like, kind of headbang in the ring when he got there and it was a bit awkward.
Yeah.
Like, it's not all perfect, but, like, you just got to feel those things out. This is good, because they've done this with Finn Balor and they did it with somebody else who I'm blanking on. There's been at least 3. I can eat 3. And it's not in direct promotion of anything other than the idea of NXT.
Just a flex, isn't it?
How often it's not even that. How often does wrestling not simply talk about the world of itself for the greater good? For this idea that, like, and look who could be next? All it's doing is inviting the viewer to look upon this roster and pick somebody that could one day be in their shoes.
Angela, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, right? And wrestling so often is like, we can't do that, we've got to be on to the next thing, or well, why aren't we using this 10 seconds of television time to promote a match next week? It's like, it's take a breath and do some like bigger picture that bitch. And that's what these do. And I really, really like these.
This is where Lola Vice storms into the NXT GM, oh God, I forgot his name again, his office.
It's Robert Stone. You must remember GM's names. It's annoying.
She wants the NXT Underground match, and it's made official for Vengeance Day.
There we go.
Stuff. And then, this button's going to get broken today.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
The NXT Women's Championship match.
Oh, yes. Yes.
This was so good. Even Andy Murray liked it, and it's NXT.
And he hates NXT.
Yeah. Me and him have polar opposite views on what wrestling should be.
Yeah.
Case in point, yesterday, him. Not many matches on Monday Night Raw, was there? Me. No, it was class.
16 golden ups.
People weren't happy with my ups and downs ratio, by the way.
Imagine if you just didn't give it back to Miller.
Imagine just being positive about things. That's not a shot on Miller, by the way.
It's like Simon.
That's a shot on people just being negative.
Simon Miller.
I don't get why people can't be like, oh, this person liked this show more than me. That's fine.
This guy, Simon Miller, has to like adapt lists that Sidgwick and I have written and outright say at the beginning, we all got different opinions.
Yeah, I do feel sorry for him when he has those, and he has to be like,
and he has.
I don't necessarily believe what I'm about to say.
And he has people in his comments saying, cheer up.
Yeah. He's Mr. Positivity.
Yeah. And then you step in. You're doing your own crack the nut like that.
Beer. One of the downs, I only gave it 2 downs, obviously. One of the downs was someone getting injured. I wasn't saying someone getting injured's a down. I meant it was bad that someone got injured. No blame placed on anyone. The other one was Natalia, obviously. But yeah, let's get back to this NXT Women's Championship match. It was Sol Ruka, number 1 contender from a few weeks ago, of course, with her best friend Zarya in her corner against the leader of Fatal Influence, who had Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed there. But I'm talking about NXT Women's Champion, JC Jane.
No.
And I'm like, here we go. This, sir, is the dance. And we You get all the pomp and ceremony.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the NXT Women's Championship match. And they hold up the belt and what have you. And we've barely gotten through introducing who's even fighting for this title. Bell hasn't even rung.
That's it.
Zarya, wham! Spears Sol Ruka out of her goddamn shoes, picks her up, F5s her, walks out. JC Jane, what an incredible 18 months this woman has had, by the way.
Yep.
Not just in terms of like, well done, you've won the title. Like character-wise, she's gone from like to mint. Like I looked at her here, and she was like, jackpot!
I want the match. This is like
ring the goddamn bell.
This doesn't cancel anything. This is the real quiz.
Sol Ruka, to her credit, has like clambered up. I'm good. I'm good to go. Rolling encore from JC Jane. 1, 2, 3. Post match, Zarya pulls Ruka out of the ring. Who's barely
Get her again.
Gets her again. F5 onto the announce table and yells that she's a bitch as we go to a break. Jesus, this was amazing.
Like, count the ways, this was amazing. This was great. This was really fun to watch. JC Jane was exceptional, not just in the realization of how this match was going to play out, but also in the celebration of her title victory afterwards. Doing laps when you've not tried is piss funny.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels has said, watch what happens when Triple H pins me in that December match where we disgrace the European title. Copy it. Like, however obnoxious you think that is, you give it your best. Loved it. So Fatal Influence, JC Jane were great here. The subsequent match that they, like the punishment match that she has to have with Zarya, but now she's got to the back of the mind. Well, maybe that could go my way as well. Like,
yeah, should I mention that here now?
Yeah,
actually?
please do.
Later on in the show, Fatal Influence are just happy as Larry while Zarya runs up to them. Well, you owe me one after I helped you beat Sol Ruka. And Laney Reed was really good here. He's like, I don't think she owes you a damn thing, mate. And that was it. She said, I don't think she owes you a damn thing. Bell rang and JC pinned Sol. End of story.
Where's the lie?
I was like, good point. JC's kind of over the whole Zaruka drama, to be honest. Zarya's like, you've never beaten me. And either you give me this title match or you're going to suffer the same fate as Sol Ruka. And JC Jane, who's a smart heel and knows, I feel like Sol Ruka might want to get revenge for what's just happened here, goes, see you next week.
It's great. Like, that now, in the Fatal Influence JC Jane of it all, they will feel like once next week is tied over, and as you say, JC Jane was kind of given the facials of, I know how that's going to turn out for you, she can think, Zaruka's situation is dealt with. I have no challenges left. Yeah. And that's the perfect point at which Kendall Gray slides back into the picture and bingo, bango, bongo, title matcho. Fantastic, right? Really, really good booking. The Zarya turn, if you can even call it that, because she turned 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. They split last week, then they reunited.
Like,
still, though, I was like, it was a surprise.
Yeah.
Because we'd said yesterday.
The turn's tonight.
She's turning tonight, but she's going to, Soul Snatcher, she's got it won. Oh, she's Costa.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even getting a match. No.
Yeah.
You've had your opportunities.
You got to credit them. Like, they've already done the turn.
I think this might be my match of the year.
You think they've ripped the element of surprise away. Instead, the element of surprise is not, as should be the case in wrestling more often than it is, it's not about the how, it becomes about the when. And they surprised you with the when, like before the match even kicks off. They didn't do it when the bell rang, because then it would be a DQ, which would leave a loose end of Sol Ruka deserving another title match. This couldn't have been meaner and nastier than it was, because in the kayfabe world of wrestling, you have that thing of, I know like rematches happen all the time, but in theory, especially as JC Jane would look at this way, oh dear, back of the line. Yeah. Zarya has done it in such a way that she has like relegated Sol Ruka from League 2 in her mind.
No, don't say that. That's still a bit raw.
Sorry, but that's how she thought all week, right, not only have I fooled her into thinking that we're totally back on terms with my devious little plan last week, like,
imagine
now
watching Sol Ruka go through like cardio training for this match, going, let's see, you get your reps in.
Yeah. Like gnashing in the corner of the gym. Like, now she's finally got to where she wants it. It's like, well, I want to break a heart. I want to break a goddamn spine. But how do I also fight? Like, the whole crux of this is, I want the belt. So I need her out the way. So how do I get her as far out the way as I possibly can? It's this specific plan. There will be no repercussions for this. My uppance will not come.
Yes.
That's what she's not thought through, and that's the funny bit, because then you get the follow through. And then
Huge match, this.
Yeah.
Sol Ruka and Zari. For something like you say that's been coming for a long time, like this is a match that does not need a title for Stand and Deliver if they do it for example. It doesn't even necessarily need a stip. I mean, it'd be fun with a stip.
You might get both. They've just, the execution of the turn, the second turn.
Sol accidentally costs JC Jane the title. Like they do what was it, Alistair Black?
Johnny Gargano
Ciampa
thing, yeah? I mean, it's
I don't think they should. I think it should be Kendall Gray's coronation.
I'm trying to, could you do an accidental, have they done that before? An accidental soul snatcher?
There almost certainly has been. I feel like there was one on Zarya.
Yeah. What if Zarya and JC Jane were in the corner, the referee's distracted, Sol arrives, does a running double soul snatcher to be like, because I'm sick of you from last week, JC Jane, but then the way the bodies fall, Zarya falls on top of, because they like a fall on top for the win finish, don't they?
Brad Baylor's last week was amazing.
Yeah. And that's how Zarya wins. She wins the title by being soul snatched. So even this idea of like, I did it, it's like, yeah, but come on. Look how you did
they
it.
They could four-way it for the belt at Stand and Deliver.
No, we're fantasy.
Sol Zarya, you're overcomplicating.
We're fantasy booking for sure that technically doesn't exist right now. That sums up how good the execution of this term was. Really, really fun.
Tatum Paxley sat with the crowd. Bit weird, this, wasn't it? My entire life, I've twisted myself in knots trying to find love. I crave acceptance, trying to be exactly what somebody else needed of me. Maybe I could just change a little bit more, just be perfect. Someone would stay, but they didn't. In that loneliness, I learned to finally start listening to all of you. You guys never asked me to change. You didn't want some watered-down version of Tatum Paxley. You wanted me. Trust me, I've seen on the internet, there's quite a few people who want Tatum Paxley. And for the first time...
Pick up on that in a second, yeah.
First time in my entire life, I felt real love. You've all accepted every weird little part of me, which is why when I beat Izzy Dame at Vengeance Day and have my hands around the NXT Women's North American Championship, that title won't just be mine, it'll be ours. Izzy, I'm begging you. I want that last conversation with you. And Izzy says, and then you'll wake up and realize that your dreams are not enough because you're never going to be enough. And they're about to start kicking off, but they're interrupted by Blake Monroe of all people.
We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, I got why, considering how eventful and incident heavy this show was, and how so much was presumably booked with Atlanta in mind, that they might have had this might have been a stronger visual. It just looked weird that they were in this arena they were in every single week, and they decided to both cut their promos in the crowd. So that but you can imagine that there would have been a bit in center stage where this would, So I kind of, they've just stuck with the original plan, and they thought, well, nobody else is cutting promos in the crowd this week, so at least you're not nobody's stepping on anybody's dick. It was the content of the promo and the fact that it was mixed in with the presentation.
At least it wasn't AI, I suppose, this week.
Yeah. It just inadvertently created a lot of awkwardness, because for those that haven't seen it, and I imagine that might be a lot of you, they are literally in the fans. So Tatum Paxley's kind of walking up and down the steps that divides the aisle, but then she walks into the aisle, as if when somebody goes to the toilet at the cinema at the match, whether you have to stand up to let them walk. Yeah. Sorry. She's doing that. Izzy Dame, likewise, comes from the other side, does that. They'll stop to cut the promos at a point where there's enough of a gap or people have moved. But ultimately, the fans didn't know this was happening. You know that episode of Friends where, I think Ross and Chandler go to I want to say it was a high school reunion or a university reunion. And there might be another reason why this happens, but anyway, and there's the Hardy from freshman year, right? And she's grown up, and Ross single, and she's thinking he's going to try and make up a move or whatever. And Chandler's I just, since my Monica, I kind of don't care now. They could be attending the most beautiful girl in the world, or whatever. And then they go and chat to her, and Ross is actually, kind of making sort of moves and all that. And then Chandler's like that. Firstly, can relate, but also I felt like I was watching a bunch of quite respectful.
Yeah.
People.
Bold choice, wasn't it?
Not know where to put themselves.
Yeah.
The camera was on them from a long time.
There was another one that when Jada Parker shows up in a minute.
Just stood.
She's just there taunting Blake Monroe, and there's a guy you can just see going, I'm just looking ahead. I'm not looking. I'm just respectfully, I'm not looking.
Is it a leak up there? and your eyes were kind of drawn to those fans, weren't they?
Yeah.
I felt like a certain sympathy for what are you going to do? Like, it's good. It's good that people aren't, don't, for God's sake, like invade somebody's personal
Yeah, I'd
space
rather be
or
awkward than
hug or
Yeah.
it could got gross in a hurry, but like it was weird. It created
when the lights go out, and I was like, "Oh my God, who's done this?" And then it was
I am American Badass.
it's just Blake Monroe doing her entrance.
Yeah, like that, which was, and it was the end of the segment, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was that.
It was like Taz and Sabu lights got off.
That was our time. We can't brawl anymore.
Butter my arse, ladies. Save it for next week.
They're gonna have a sit down next week, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was Blake Monroe versus Thea Hale, speed tournament. It's the other side of the bracket with Nikita Lyons and Ren Sinclair in, of course. And you think, well, at least lightning can't strike twice here, can it? And yeah, Blake Monroe, understandably, just wrecks Thea Hale early on with clothesline. Thea Hale hit the world's smallest slam.
That'll stick.
Fantastic.
Yep.
And Blake gets knocked outside. You think, okay, we're a minute and a few seconds in.
She said she was going to wrap it in 3, didn't she? Yeah.
And she just gets nailed by a Jada Parker hypnotique. Chuck back in. Yeah, it's a running neck breaker and wins in a minute and 7 seconds to advance. Blake Monroe has lost to Thea Hale again.
Like,
they've made chicken salad out of this, haven't they?
they have, like this was a fun upset. I think this is going to be one of those things where, like, look, I don't think Blake Monroe's run's been anything special. I think a lot of people were looking forward to it failing because there's, like, there's
I think the moment people saw her in this speed tournament, they're like, speed, actually.
Yeah.
Given what's happened
yes,
here.
I think there's like we often try. I think sometimes we might reveal what promotions we prefer, but I don't think we. I think we try and steer away from the nasty side of the tribalism.
Yeah.
But you can see when people are like looking for, it cuts both ways. The Tony Fumble phenomenon and all that kind of thing. It's all bollocks, really. But like, that's how it goes. Some wrestlers are going to thrive in one organization, some are not in others. And I think. And especially because of the words Tony Storm used in that promo, like almost cursing Mariah May's future career should she choose to like chase it in WWE. Like what was it? I like confine you to a lifetime of mediocrity or something.
Yeah, something like
and it's
that.
like that can get used if it looks on surface like it's going horribly wrong. If you actually look under the hood here, this is just good stuff. She's involved in sort of 2 stories. Centrally, a feud, like Jada Parker's the program, but now Thea Hale's got her number. Thea Hale's a bogey wrestler of Fulham. Like, it's just, it shouldn't necessarily require like her to go as far backwards to get back on track. Because again, I don't think the run was going particularly well, but it does feel the most she's been in the mix. And I include when she had the North American title. Like, I was saying to you, for a little while, it kind of looked as if by accident that, like, it was more about the other people's lives after they'd feuded with Blake Monroe than Blake Monroe herself.
Yeah.
And Jordan Grace hits the skids. Like, it was sort of, oh no, like, you've had your brush with Jordan Grace. You've had your brush with Blake Monroe, now what do you do? Whereas Blake Monroe was just Monroeing out, waiting for a challenger. This is her now in the muck a bit, and her, like, this isn't, I don't
Blake
need...
Monroe and Kendall Gray's going to in a few
Yeah,
months' time, innit?
I don't really need a Beth from hell. I need her like figuring out how she like beats Thea Hale to start with.
A great series as well to go into.
I think like if her and Jada Parker, I don't mean to be like a collision bore here, but if they're just like unloading on each other with them forearms and elbows and stuff, because we saw Mariah May do it with Tony Storm, and Jada Parker's got a lot of that in her locker. I think it could be one that like crosses over a bit. Like the ball knowers will enjoy it, but like I think it's one that like it'll do well, clipped up.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
This was the second half of the NXT Chronicle on Joe Hendry. He talks about getting to TNA finally and then feeling like he was sort of starting from scratch all over again. And then suddenly his song on social media is just blowing up. And he enters the charts. He gets to number 1. And then off the back of that, appearance on NXT, becomes the most viewed video on X in all of wrestling that year, which is bonkers. TNA World Title, Royal
The
Rumble.
interview with you, that was massive.
Yeah, TNA World Title, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and then the culmination of everything, the NXT Championship. People, think like Ricky Saints think I'm just a song or a meme or a smile or whatever. I know who I am. I'm NXT champion, and I believe in Joe Hendry.
I think he's probably got to beat Ricky Sainz.
Yeah.
I would have assumed. I thought he was going to be there to just lose the title straight back to Ricky Sainz, but I'm not convinced now. Maybe this has just done that effective a job. I feel like I'm backing him to retain his title and put a run together.
Selfishly, I'm trying to book a multi-man to get Tony D in there because I don't think Joe versus Tony D in a singles match or even Ricky versus Tony D necessarily makes it to stand and deliver. But Joe still champion against Ricky Sainz, who wants another shot.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan Page is like, well, hang on a second, mate. I think probably if anyone should do it, it should be me. And then like a Tony D as a wild card in there.
Here's something for you. Do you think maybe this is just more bigger picture? How much do WWE care about Joe Hendry? There's always a million ways to fold it into a promo and could be like, last year against Randy Orton was special, but I've got the NXT Championship. This is a different beast entirely. I was wrestling just for me last year for the moment, and I got stars in my eyes. Now I'm representing an entire brand, and I want to win. Like it's really easy to spin it. Do you think they will be conscious of it looking like he's a bit of a failure or one-hit wonder if he was WrestleMania last year and he's not on WrestleMania this year because of the obvious contrast because it's going to be in the same stadium? What I'm asking is, do you think they might try and work him out the WrestleMania card to be like, you thought last year was big, 2 minutes and an RKO this year, and he gets like inserted into like the US title picture?
Yeah, like a multi-man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could happen.
Like, and that might...
What drops the title earlier on in the... Ooh,
yeah,
that could be fun.
Like, and it's sort of like he's got this WrestleMania story is building off this like Vegas back-to-back thing of like, I still can't get that win, but look at the growth. Might it scan as like NXT is like devalued by accident because this time last year he was there and now he's just NXT champion? They won't want it to look that way.
Maybe.
And the promo gets you out of that jail. But maybe somebody we should be considering for the WrestleMania card.
That's a good point. We get the battle for Chase U next. It's still a thing. I've actually applied for a spot in Chase U because since their numbers are dwindling.
Mate, I think you'll be head boy.
Because Andre Chase was there with Cale Dixon, one of the last remaining students, and Uriah Connors, who has the birthright in their corner, Lexus King, Ariana Grace, and our friend Stax, of course. Connors eats a forearm from Dixon on the floor when he goes to dive onto him. We also see Jala Dempsey and Tavian Heights. Remember when you two were...
Yeah.
They're watching in the back. Both men get to their feet and trade big blows. Connor slaps Dixon, but he jumps into an uppercut from Cale Dixon. There's a sort of stunner, a couple of stunners really, from Connors. Gets him a 2 count. Cale Dixon hits a super kick that sends Connors to the floor. He goes up top after they fire on the outside, and then he chucks the turncoat Uriah Connors back in. Gets a 2 count off a splash. But in the end, Uriah Connors counters a moonsault with the knees up and hits basically a Busaiku knee to Cale Dixon to get the win for himself and his fellow members now of the Birthright. Was this him proving himself?
Yeah, he was joining them, mate. Look, there's no perfect 10s unless it's a song written by the Beautiful South. April 21st, 1997, Raw has the Sultan. AEW Dynamite in 2021 has Matt Hardy. This had this match. Like, quite weak for the Birthright. I prefer it more when Lexus King's king and out. You got to do it. You had to do this match. You did. It was a necessary thing, but it was like, this was the one bit where if you were busting for a piss.
Oh, this could be the call.
What call?
It could be the Chase U call. I've got to take this.
I see.
I'll be back in a second. Sorry about this. I'll be back in a sec.
Could have. Yeah. I probably think you're more of a professional if you just let it go to voicemail. Nicholas, when you have to sit and listen to all of this, do you ever go back and revisit any of these clips? Ever?
Never.
So, like, what was
Sometimes
the last...
I go to sleep.
What was the last NXT you actually watched? I'm going back to thinking of pulses and, like, what cut through with you?
Actually, what, start to finish?
Well, like, not necessarily the episode, but a segment, a match, a moment. Like, what? Because I would really recommend a lot of this to you this week. I'm curious.
Anything you want? Anything you want at all?
From memory. What was the last thing you properly watched? Or was it Stand and Deliver in Vegas last year?
That was definitely the last live thing I watched.
Yeah.
because the one before that was Stand and Deliver the year before.
The year before.
Yeah.
We need to Stand and Deliver this year.
Just there. Someone's got to film Wilbourn afterwards for.
I'm
to
thought this through. I need to do we be able to use the camera to zoom in on Wilbourn's chair to see if there's like a
just to check it, yeah,
an issue on it.
Let's
Yeah,
have a look.
something's not right about it.
It's funny that not going to help you in the slightest, but
Let's do that. Hi, Stacks.
Hey, where the hell is everybody, huh?
Yeah, it's half term in this part of the world, so Sidge is off with the kids today.
Absolutely fair enough excuse then to not be here.
Rafon's lazy on, well, in general. Can't reach
See
stuff.
you, Mike.
Get nothing,
Willie.
nothing off this guy. Oh, yeah, he's taking a call because he might be getting into shit. You know those guys that you've kind of destroyed? They are so in the muck that they are willing to accept Wilbourn, it would seem, as a student. This really checks out because this week he's been speaking a lot about how he was prom king and head boy, and a little while ago he brought his record of achievement in. I think he's actually been like...
why are you laughing? What are you laughing at?
What the hell's a record of achievement? What's the deal with the record of achievement?
Wow, what a weird field to do jokes about. Can't wait for those three.
Record of where I'm doing my joke.
Record of Achievement Stacks was an utterly pointless initiative, I think brought on, I want to say, by the mid-90s Conservative government, but it might have been a new Labour policy, education, to basically give everybody a formalised, simplified young person's CV. So anything you did in school, extracurricular, whatever, it like broke it down into different categories, and you could take it with you into the world, either of work or further education at 16. Only here's the twist: nobody gave a fucking shit. So you could take, like, nobody asked for it in any jobs, nobody asked for it in any college or university applications. The requirement was 0, so it was more 0 than the O's on this can. So you could have filled it full of activities, you could have filled it full of, I don't know, judo certificates, anything you got up to the weekend, and it was asked to be read goose egg times. A lot of money spent on leather, I would suggest, to bound that bitch. That, Stacks, was the record of achievement.
No, hey, I've got how rude of me, by the way. Happy Inconvenience Yourself Day. You know what always is a massive inconvenience to me? Goddamn traffic. What the hell is the deal with traffic, huh?
Who are you, Mr. Questions? Remember him earlier in the week? I know you weren't there. You have to ask Wilbourn if you ever see him again about Mr. Questions. Or Mr. Spunk. You would like Mr. Spunk.
Sounds like a good guy.
He would be your cup of cum. What's
the deal with traffic?
Traffic. Cars, innit? Like, Wilbourn has taken to getting a bus recently. That is often impacted by traffic. There are a lot of cars and a lot of roads, and sometimes there's too many cars for the amount of roads, and you just get a build-up of cars, and it generally causes people to be late, delayed, that kind of thing. It's often because of commute at times. People want to be in the same place at the same time. Sometimes it's, I don't know, trying to get out of the stadium at 2 o'clock in the frigging morning and there not being any other transport options other than cars. Traffic, that's traffic.
Why do you say that, actually? Because a friend of mine is actually, he started dating a woman he met in a traffic jam. I said, well, what the hell happened there? And he said to me, well, she was in the car ahead of me, and I accidentally, I stepped on the gas when I meant to hit the brake. And I said to him, oh, right, did you rear end her? And he said, yeah, but not until the third date. 3 jokes, 3 questions for you.
Yeah.
Question one, Hamflett. Yeah. How is wiping your ass a lot like approaching a traffic light? That's how is wiping your ass a lot like approaching a traffic light.
So you approach. I don't drive anymore, you see, Stacks. I did learn. I was awful. I got scared. My wife is a self-confessed appalling passenger and a very good driver. So I did math calc and drag on that situation and gave up forever. But I'm trying to think, when you approach a traffic light, you would be checking to see if you could go if the lights were red, amber, or green.
Yeah, passed your wife in traffic and she was going the opposite direction, of course. Do you reckon she could say, hello from the other side? Because her name's Adele, obviously.
Thanks for explaining that to those that don't know. That is an excellent joke. And I don't know if I've told you this, Stacks. I mentioned it to Wilbourn and Cedric before, but like often of an evening on a Wednesday night, we'll watch this together. She couldn't give a toss about this podcast, but something about Stacks is connected in such a way where it's just like, like a little 3 minutes of vulgar stand-up that has to be watched away from our children's ears and eyes. And something click. I don't know why.
Silly jokes to your kids, obviously.
Yeah, don't know why. So she'll appreciate that. There you go, love. You featured in the jokes. That's probably it now.
But how is wiping your ass like approaching a traffic light?
I don't know, Stacks.
Red means stop. Question number
How
two.
did you not get that? That was like...
That is horrible.
Bad, that one. Question joke number two. What can you say both during sex and after a guy in traffic flips you off?
Sorry.
Good night, right?
Makes sense. Think about it. Think about it. If you're useless at sex and you're not very confrontational, it's a good answer.
What can you say both during sex and after a guy in traffic flips you off? God damn, what an asshole. Question joke number three. Hamflett, why did I give my missus the nickname Traffic?
Oh, right. You've already noted that traffic makes you quite angry. It could be something to do with when the lovely Miss Ariana Grace is getting on your nerves.
It's almost definitely got to be about being stuck inside it.
Oh, see, I was thinking about being made like late for work and stuff because that can be like really annoying, can't it? But yeah, stuck into. Oh, you know what? It's sometimes a real relief that I'd have to say the things that you do, Stacks. So I don't know.
You were so goddamn close, guys. Why did I give my missus the nickname Traffic? So I got an excuse when I'm late. I can always say, hey, I'm sorry I'm late. I was stuck in traffic. See you later, guys.
That's the way he tells them, right, gang?
Yeah.
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 Sure is. Oh, need to stretch my legs a second. Bye, Stacks.
Bye, Stacks.
Oh.
I miss him.
What? Well, yeah, because you would. Hang on, you just said bye to him, so you can't have missed him.
I think he was going out the door as I was coming in the other door. Something. I don't know.
Did you get in to chase you?
I won't talk about it.
Oh.
Apparently being head boy isn't quite enough. Where are we up to?
Well, they're asking for your record of achievement.
Yeah, I've got it with me.
It's been widely discredited.
Son of a bitch. All those merit points for nothing. Where are we up to? Oh, this I think if you've not got any further past the battle for Chase U, whatever it was.
We didn't move on from that, no.
This is when Zarya tells JC Jen I'm having a title match, and then
Oh my god.
it's time to go back to the locker room with the 5 best people in NXT.
Yep.
Swipe Right have cleaned themselves up, and in their words, I may have added a few more words to this, but they effectively said, we're ready, we've got our titles, we've cleaned ourselves up, and we're ready to go out to the bars tonight with these bad boys to get some puss. They didn't quite say the exact thing.
No, but that was implied, yeah.
Right? And they taking the piss out of, you see that Chronicle on Joe Hendry? Crap, wasn't it? Ricky's better in every way. But Swipe Right have a confession. Got to tell you, Ricky, the gang had a wild card watch party last night. Emmy worthy, says Ricky Smokes, and Jackson Drake goes, nothing short of absolute.
It's like, Bruce, everyone's bruising. It's like you talking about like The Rock doing anything. Well, probably shut the Oscars down now.
Yeah.
Ricky Saints has had a cameo in a TV show.
Ricky announces, as if this can get any better, he's bringing his absolute experience to NXT next week, because if he can have concerts, Joe, he can have the absolute experience.
What's that going to look like?
Obviously, the Vanity Project are invited. They are surprised by this so much that they dap each other. Can I come as well? Oh, I'll be there. And he's off. He leaves to go and rehearse or whatever. And Jackson Dragon's like, come here, boys. Cameraman's right there. You know, last week we helped Ethan Page retain his title. Do it again. Effectively is what he said. And then suddenly like, whoa, what's that smell? And in walks our other boys, Hank and Tank, who announced that they are not just belly boys, but meaty mechanics.
Whoa.
What have you been doing? Says Vanity Project. Cue another one of our boys, Shiloh Hill, who walks in with... Shiloh Hill, I was unfamiliar with your slapstick comedy skills here. He walks in with a completely unattached steering wheel saying the words honk honk, which works in two different ways because you've got the belly boys right there, Hank and Tank, who they say honk honk. When you drive a car, you say honk honk as well.
On it, pennies from heaven. It just keeps coming.
And he goes, by the way, Shiloh's, this is from your car. You cost me the North American title. So we talk about your car. And one of them, I think it was Brad, goes, you son of a... And Shiloh goes, oh, sorry, can you just hold this really quickly? And he takes it from him, and then Shiloh just punches him. They brawl, the referees break up. This was sensational.
I've nicked your steering wheel. That is so funny.
That's Bean, isn't it? Mr. Bean was the walking around with the steering wheel.
I mean, you're going to...
It's the peak British comedy right there.
I was going to say, you're going to lend to the cliche. Those Mr. Bean-looking asses.
Yeah.
We just have it on our own channel all day. If anyone loves beans, it's you won't like Sidge missing out on Bean chat.
Yeah. Triple B. Beans, Bridges.
Battlestar Galactica. What would be his third B?
Let us know in the comments. What is Michael Sidgwick's... Hang on.
We'll ask him tomorrow on the Dynamite review.
I'm sure considering how...
What's your third B? It's a perfectly normal question.
What about... Oh, yeah. I thought it was the best thing on God's Green Earth. It was the greatest thing on God's Green Earth, wasn't it? The Sidgwick 316 t-shirt.
Yeah.
Which actually reminds me. But talk about your thoughts on this, and I've got to read this email that we've been sent in.
Brian Danielson is the answer.
Brian Danielson. Beans. Bridges. Brian Danielson. Michael Sidgwick's 3 Bs. Everybody's got 3 Bs.
Yeah.
Everybody says that. Like, what am I?
Boobs.
Boobies. That's 2 of yours.
Bees, boobies.
And breasts.
Just in case.
I knew Brett,
yeah.
Brobby.
Biscuits.
Brett, Biscuits, and Brian Brobby. Thank you, everybody. This has been
collective. What's your 3
Nicholas,
Bs?
what's 3 Bs?
Brogues.
No.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what a cool Bond. Like he's a bit James Bond-esque. Boots.
But
Birds. Oh, Birds, Blues, and Banter. That's mine.
okay.
You just had that. Like, oh yeah, back in the day.
Burn, David.
Is it in your is that in your record of achievement?
That was apparently the stumbling block for Chase U.
Birds, Bees and Banter. Bean Bridges, Brian Danielson. Brett Biscuits and Brian Brobby. And...
So you say David... Burn,
David.
If you like.
Baft Punk.
Yeah, that's what they call them.
That's what I've always called them.
And...
Head Boy.
Baddidas.
Yeah. Anything to get at the main event.
What was the segment? Oh, it's really funny.
Shiloh in the steering wheel.
Yeah, it's perfection. No,
notes.
You recap. No, like he nicked the steering wheel. This was so funny. Shiloh Hill. Thank you for being you.
We've said he was a great addition.
Yeah, he's changed the game.
I think they need trios titles in NXT. I'm saying this right now.
Shiloh and Hank and Tank.
Yeah.
What was the email? Sorry.
Well, it's from another B, Brian Weddick. He was SmackDown Photoshop.
Love him.
Although he's a lovely man and very helpful, but he's not against constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm. He
writes, "To whom it may concern, I would like to lodge a complaint regarding a segment on today's NXT preview coverage." Now, we get a lot of those emails, considering what we talk about. But This one I actually take on board.
Okay.
During a soccer tangent, Michael Bradley's club appearances were read out, and as his 9-year stint with Toronto FC was mentioned, I noted a hint of disdain in Mr. Wilbourn's voice.
I did too, actually. I remember this.
Well, just because it was like...
We got Jermaine Defoe from Toronto. He
Yeah.
was miserable there, and it was one of our best signings of a decade.
I also noticed that Mr. Hamflett did not rebuke this disdain. I'll have you know that the MLS has a long and rich tradition of soccer. He spelt that S-A-H-K-U-R, by the way.
It's correct spelling.
The likes of which you could only dream of. What with your hundreds of years of history and your promotion relegation system and your FA Cup trophies and your Champions League football. Champions League football? Who would even call it that? Have you ever seen the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup? Didn't think so. Ever seen a soccer match from inside a baseball stadium? Sad. Some rich tradition you've got. As a long-time listener and a long-time contributor, I believe I'm owed an apology for slandering my country. The other country's 5th most popular sports league. This is ridiculous. I'd like to address your supervisor as well. So if you can't figure who that is, point me in their direction. If I do not receive sufficient repentance in a timely manner, tell Mr. Future to expect to hear from my lawyer. Thank you. Also, here's another installment in the Mr. Men's Sidekicks book series, and he sent me a picture of Mr. Spunk, which I'm not sure if I spin that round. Nicholas, can you pick that up? There's Mr. Spunk.
You look like a father showing his child there or something.
There's Mr.
Proud
Spunk.
dad.
I mean, Brian. Both hands.
I wasn't
Apologies.
familiar with your game.
Apologies. Let's praise something from the MLS dead quick. That running penalties deal
it's
from the early
class.
days is absolutely unbelievable. What are they doing? I absolutely love that. No ties. Ties are for assholes.
Yeah.
Running penalties. Okay. All right.
Once again, America, or North America, I should say, you've made this better.
Yeah.
You've taken something that we've got and made it better.
Yeah. Full and frank apology.
Yeah. We get a video package on the epic rivalry between Miles Bourne and Ethan Page. Good setup for the main event. Just before that, though, Sarah Schreiber is chatting to the NXT GM, whose name in all this excitement has escaped me again.
It is still Robert Stone.
He says he doesn't normally reward bad behavior, but seeing as JC Jane's already accepted the challenge, yes, next week, Zarya versus JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship. And also there's going to be a face-to-face conversation or confrontation, I can't remember what was said here, regardless, between Izzy and Tatum Paxley. But Izzy was there saying this, I think, in fact, actually. And she says, if Tatum puts her hands on me, no title match at Vengeance Day. And also next week, Vanity Project versus Shallow Hill and Hank and Tank.
Cannot wait for that. What does that look like?
I mean,
yeah.
Is it going to bring a steering wheel?
NXT's cooking, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. You can feel it.
And that brings us to our main event of the evening. Ethan Page, NXT North American Champion, defending his belt against Miles Bourne. I wanted to mention Miles Bourne's white flames on his trunks to get your thoughts.
He looked great. He looked title ready, which was nice because some of my thoughts lately. And it was so effective. Like, white, sorry, it's not just aesthetically, it's gorgeous. Like, obviously there's this idea that, like, there's an angelic quality to white, and often, like, wrestlers are going to win titles or look their best. And kind of, it doesn't start with Shawn Michaels, but that's a really popular example of it. The Bayley one at TakeOver and that. But, like, the fact that he was, like, then with his family at the end and the story we'd heard about, like, his mother, and just, like, it sometimes, like, wrestlers look, like, elevated off the ground, don't they?
Yeah.
Like, is he flying? Like, and everything helps, everything contributes. He was ready, like, he was ready for this win in a way which I really liked as well, because they've been telling the story of, like, he's not making the right decisions to do it. He's had these title matches before, and you know when he's like won an opportunity, but it's like, it's not your night, but like, well done, pat on the head kind of thing. It's what a feeling when it comes together for a wrestler. Yeah. In reality and in kayfabe.
The only bit where I thought, oh man, he's falling short again, we'll get to.
But what a great part of the work.
Oh, just
I know the bit you're on about, yeah.
So he does really well early on, but Page sends him crashing into the announce desk, and then we go to a break with Page hitting a razor's edge on Miles Bourne on top of the desk as well. When we return from the break, there's a comeback by Miles Bourne. Fisherman's Buster gets a near fall, but Page cuts him off again and hits a razor's edge in the middle of the ring, which looked great.
Mm-hmm.
Just proper, sort of just chucked him.
Yep.
Lands, but Bourne kicks out. Page gets a superplex, another near fall. And then they trade some really big moves. There was a nice spot where Page hit a code breaker. Bourne sort of stumbled back, bounced into the ropes, and then hit the Bourne again with the last of his power, but he can't follow up on that either. Those assholes. Vanity Project run down to the ringside. This is the bit where I was like, you sons of bitches.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Baylor, Ricky Smokes, they distract the referee whilst that twat, Jackson Drake, clonks Bourne with his Evolve title. Page cover, 1, 2. Miles Bourne throws the shoulder up.
Do you know what this reminded me of? And downscale it 100 times, don't get me wrong. But it reminded me of when the Undisputed Era ran in at the very, very, very end of the Cole Gargano match in New York.
Yeah.
Like, no, come on! Like, just not now, not tonight, not like this. That proper, because they're such a group of dickheads as well.
I don't mind it a lot of the time, but this is too far.
Context
and
off.
It's not with this guy either.
Yeah.
So Hank and Tank with Shiloh, they run down, they brawl with Vanity Project, and you think, oh, God, thank God, it's a fair fight. Except, oh, for God's sake, Ricky Saints is climbing the turnbuckle. The referee's all over the place, obviously, with all of this. Mm-hmm. And he's setting up to take out Miles Bourne. But here is your NXT champion, Joe Hendry. He shoves Saints off the turnbuckles. They brawl at ringside. Page gets Miles Bourne up for a razor's edge. Bourne escapes, goes to send Page into the exposed turnbuckle the pad's been pulled off earlier. Page blocks that, turns round. Oh no, he's going to hit a twisted grin. No, Bourne counters that, sends him into the exposed turnbuckle, and Ethan Page stumbles backwards. Bourne, huge leap. Bourne again. 1, 2, 3. Your new North American champion. Huge celebration, not just for him, but for his family, as you say, and the crowd are loving this. This was just,
oh my God,
what a way to end this show.
Mwah. Chef's kiss stuff, this, all of it. The fact that obviously it paid off. The Miles Bourne can't do what needs to get done in order to win with the exposed turnbuckle, but it also gives Ethan Page the perfect. Well, that's not fair.
Yes,
like that's like perfect fodder for him on the last show at which he would have been able to go on and claim a record that he now can't claim because he's had that ripped away at the worst possible time. He has ultimately kind of been like foiled by running his mouth for all these weeks and basically revving Miles Bourne up into this exact set of circumstances, right down to the injured ankle from last week. So he's going in hurt completely of his own mouth. All the problems are his own making. And what's Ethan Page going to do about that? He's going to blame the whole world and lash out, isn't he? So that's perfect. It's a great way to start off Miles Bourne's title reign, as is putting this on in the main event because this felt big time.
Yeah.
The inclusion of the world champion in Joe Hendry and his nearest rival wasn't just really great for like setting up their match. It was really great for reminding you, God, the top players care about this.
Yep.
Like this is like on par. This is just as big a deal. Like it pretty much firmly established Ricky Saints, Ethan Page and the Vanity Project as a stable by like the fact that they were all mixing
if you
in.
want to do a 5-on-5, it's there already, right in front of you.
I like it more than the Don Callis family versus the Death Riders. Thank you very much. But didn't it? Like including all these figures made this feel like the main event. It wasn't just main event in name only. It was like, no. Like NXT's future is decided by this.
So happy for Miles Bourne.
A perfect crowning for him. Glad that we haven't had to go down the route of him turning heel to get it.
Yeah.
Like I sensed
Wouldn't
it was
mind
coming.
if he in the rematch put his feet on the ropes, by the way.
Yeah, do what you like now. Like now
Page
it's
being like, you fair play.
I always beat you by cheating, then go on to be a proper baby face, whatever. That's fine. It's like that's fine in this context, isn't it? Now it's part of the fun. Miles Bourne is going to get celebrated next week. He's going to like welcome in this collection of baby faces. They're all going to be great, but WWE have done this with Cody Rhodes, and it's trickled down, thankfully, heavy as the head. Like, somebody is going to want a piece of that belt, and Miles Bourne is now going to have to head on a swivel, live his life that way, and yeah, great. Like, Ethan Page's run, flawless. Like, that man has been everything to this brand, and I know that the main roster beckons. I hope that this five guys, we get longer than just this road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm concerned now that Ethan Page has dropped this to be elevated to the main roster, and I hope he sticks around for a little while longer.
It's money, isn't it? You get so much more money on the main roster than you do in the NXT. Give him the main roster contract to live in NXT forever for my personal enjoyment, please.
Agreed.
He's brilliant. He is absolutely brilliant. He's the tree. Ethan Page.
Yeah.
Like NXT has had to grow new branches, and they've grown off of Ethan Page. Can't say enough good things about him. Right down to like everything that we saw play out here is because of him. This was phenomenal.
It's a lovely moment to end this show on.
So great. And Miles Bourne has properly leveled. I don't want to make it seem like this was a character.
No.
Miles Bourne has leveled up with every bit of this.
Well, let us know your thoughts on NXT in the comment section below, or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, they can follow all three of us, sort of. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
HamflettX@gmail.com. I'm also on Cameo.
You can follow our producer Adam Nicholas at
It's Adam Nicholas.
And you can follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE, as I said. And make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. The Dynamite preview is available right now, but for now, this has been the NXT review. My thanks to Hamflett, to Nicholas, to Stacks. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.